Yes, I've got a funny feeling I did leave the switch on. The button on the shelf to knock the video recorder on and off. With it being new, it's a little bit tight, so I think I did actually leave it on. However, I do have the remote control for it, but of course, like everything else, no, I haven't used it, so just worry about it later. There's the guys off. Go on, gents. Don't want to follow them. Ram Ganty. Go on, get yourselves away. Oh, poxy bastard traffic lights. Go on, jump the front of the queue, gents. I had actually intended to put the second HD camera on the bike which I've got. I did buy a HD 1080p camera from China about 12-18 months ago. And it's the wired cam. It's got the bullet cam on the front connected with a rather large thick wire into the main control unit. And I do tend to have it on my bike, and I do tend to have it fixed underneath the mirror pod. I had intended to put it on before I came out with the intentions of trying to splice the footages together in the editing suite. However, I do believe I'm just a little bit too inexperienced at the moment to go down the road of trying to splice two videos together. I say the main purpose at the minute for the moment for the videos is just to try out the helmet cam and the mic. So once I've learned how to walk and I can run a little bit faster with the editing suite, then I'll start thinking about splicing the footage together. The reason I actually invested in this helmet cam is for my forthcoming ad hoc trip down through France. What I'm intending to do in September of this year, would have been 2014, is to head from northern France down from Calais and hopefully get down to the Mediterranean coast, down to Le Baccares. And Le Baccares is just along the road from Perpignan, and it's a place that I spent a lot of time with my younger kids when they were growing up. We used to go camping down there, but of course the kids now have grown up. My son, he's joined the army, so he's off doing his own thing. My daughter, she's doing GCSEs at the moment, so she'll be leaving school very, very shortly. And kids, as they get older, they tend not want to go on long camping trips, being stuck in a bloody car with the parents for donkeys. So the plan is, come September, I'm going to wake up one morning, nothing planned. Yeah, I intend to wake up one morning, throw the tent and the sleeping bag on the bike and a few little bits and bobs, and I'm just going to go. And when I say I'm going to go, it's just a case of on the motorway down to Folkestone, just jump on the Channel Tunnel, or get on the train I should say, not physically jump on the Channel Tunnel, but go down, jump on the train and get into France. Once I get into France, I'm going to head down all the way down to south of France, on B roads. It's not my intention to do auto routes and motorways. Yes, you do get there a lot quicker, and yes, you do get stung left, right and centre with toll charges. The toll charges in France for a motorcyclist, it's quite high. Yeah, there's a slight discount compared to cars, but it's still quite expensive. I know last year I went down to Aix-les-Bains, which is down next to Annecy, which is very close to the Swiss border, and I did toll roads then, and whilst it was alright, you do get fed up. You know what it's like when you're a biker. You sat in the motorway, there's no scenery. All you do, you just sat there in a straight line. Yeah, you're winding the throttle on. Yeah, between 70 and 90. And it's just boring, monotonous ride. And trying to get from A to B as quick as you possibly can. Well, motorcycling is a little bit more than just trying to get from A to B as fast as you can. You know, you want some twisties in there, you want to be able to relax, stop, take in some scenery, and that's basically it. But the whole purpose of the trip, as I say, is just get from Calais down to the south of France. I'm only going to do it in a week. You know, I've only given myself 7 days in total, so I'm just going to use the B roads and go where I want to, stop where I want to, ride for as long as I want. And if I get fed up, I'm just going to stop. If I start riding and after 3 hours I think, oh, I've had enough of riding, it's too bloody hot, I'm just going to find myself a campsite and I'm going to stop. I'm not going to say to myself, oh, well, I've only done 140 mile. You know, you're trying to get to the south of France. You know, it'll take you a week and a half to get to the south of France at these rates. So, as I say, it's just an ad hoc. Just go. I say just go. Enjoy the ride, enjoy the scenery, stop when I want to stop, and just take it nice and easy. The problem is with England at the minute, we do everything by the clock. Seriously. Everything has got to be done by the clock. Start work at 9 o'clock. 9:30 comes around, start preparing for your first morning break. You only been at work for half an hour and you want to start preparing for your first break. We do everything by the clock. You know, England is getting so fast. Everything's got to be done at speed. You know, car drivers, and I'm a car driver myself. You know, don't get me wrong. I've got 3 vehicles. I've got a big Renault. I've got a big Renault Master minibus, and I've got my other car, which is the Honda, and I've also got my bike, and of course my wife's got a car as well. And that's right. Yes, we've got 3 cars in the family and a motorcycle, and yeah, we live on the breadline. But so be it. When I'm 6 foot under, yeah, I won't be leaving large inheritances for me kids. So yeah, but we live in the fast lane in England now. Everything's got to be done by the clock. We're always in a hurry to get there. You know, you leave home on a morning and go to work at the last possible minute, and then you sit and whinge and complain. And I do it myself. We sit, whinge and complain when we get stuck in a traffic jam trying to get to work. Why? Because we left the house far too late. So yeah, I just think we just live in the bloody fast lane at the minute. It's getting diabolical. You know, it's absolutely crazy. Right, well that's that rant over and done with. What can I whinge about now? What's been on the news lately? Well, I must admit I haven't seen the news over the last week because I've been busy working. So that's that one over and done with. No, I'm actually off to Germany there next week. I'm actually going to Berlin for a week. I'm going over there with a guy who I know who has muscular dystrophy, and he's a static wheelchair user. You know, he can't get out of his wheelchair, he can't walk. He's got to be lifted in and out of his wheelchair all of the time. And you know, the thing is with a lot of disabled people who are in wheelchairs and power chairs, they don't always get the opportunity to have a holiday, a foreign holiday that is, because of the, you know, the hotel situations, the wheelchair access for hotels, B&Bs around Europe. So anyway, this guy's taken up photography as a pastime and a hobby, and I did take him to France last year, and he thoroughly enjoyed it. Anyway, he wanted to go to Berlin this year and do some photography shots out there. So I'm going to take him over there for the week. We're going to stop in Berlin. I found a B&B. Well, it's not a B&B. I found him a little cottage on the outskirts of Berlin, which is a downstairs apartment which is wheelchair accessible. So it'll suit him down to the ground. So as I say, we'll take him in his van because he's got a mobility vehicle. So I'm using his van. I'm not using mine, even though I used to. As I say, I've been to France twice with my minibus, and the only reason I have the minibus is because it's bloody handy. It's got a big ramp on the back for carrying wheelchairs, so it means that I've got plenty of room if I decide to go camping with the wife and the kids, and there's plenty of room for the kids to just spark out on the floor. Also has its other advantage of, because it's a big Renault Master and it's got a ramp fitted to the rear of the van, if I want to take the bike anywhere, which I have done, I just ride the bike up the ramp into the back of the van and tie the bike off, then just do whatever I want to do. I know a couple of years I went down to Wootton Bassett for the one of the remembrance rides for Afghan heroes. Oh, and that'll be another thing I might as well have a rant about as well. I'll come back to that one. Yeah, so I wanted to go down there, and it's just unfortunate my wife wanted to go with me, and she's got a bad back. So travelling from the northeast of England all the way down to Wootton Bassett down south, with her on the back suffering from a bad back, wasn't a good idea. But she wanted to take part in the ride itself. So I threw the bike in the back of the van, drove down with the bike in, stopped at the hotel. Next day, which was the day of the ride, of course we did the ride out in the mark of respect, and of course she was on the back. No, just coming off that last roundabout there, I said I was going to have a bit of a rant. It's not really a rant. I'm a little bit disillusioned at the moment with the Forces charities. Don't get me wrong, my son's a soldier. I spent 9 years in the Forces. My brother, he spent over 25 years in the Forces. He did very well for himself, so I do come from a military background. However, I just feel at the moment that the Royal British Legion, who have done a hell of a lot for servicemen and women within the UK, have been dumped on from a very great height. I did hear something a couple of years ago which I got really annoyed about. These charities which are being organised for Help the Heroes, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's my understanding on the information that I've received that any money donated for Help the Heroes only goes to those families and service personnel that have actually been to Afghanistan. And I'm sorry, I disagree with that. If you're a serviceman or woman and you are posted to any conflicted area, regardless of what it is, if your family and yourself needs help, you should get that help. You shouldn't have a charity who turns around and said, oh, well, I'm terribly sorry, we're not prepared to help you because unfortunately you didn't spend any time in Afghanistan. The Royal British Legion, with their poppy appeals and their collections, do not make any distinction about who you are, where you are, and how long it was since you were in the forces. My father-in-law, unfortunately he's not with us now, my father-in-law had done national service and he was in Burma, and shortly before he died he got into, well, we'll not say financial difficulties, but you know, he had problems financially with his health and everything. Yeah, he you know, national service, he approached the Royal British Legion, and the Royal British Legion put the hand in the pocket, yeah, and helped him out. Yeah, and of course this was national service. You know, you're talking like 45 years after he'd done his national service, the Royal British Legion put the hand in the pocket and helped the guy out. So I'm a little bit, as I say, disillusioned with the amount of charities for forces at the moment, where if you're not part of that specific regiment, or you are not or haven't been to Afghan, you can't get any money. I think it's diabolical. I say, please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my understanding of what's happening at the moment. Right, I'll knock it on the head and I'll get this video processed and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so bye-bye for now.